What's up, everybody? This is actually not supposed to be up there yet. I always start with some kind of technical difficulty, guys. That's just how things work here. Anyways, welcome to another episode of Just the Nick of Crime. We're talking about everybody's favorite convicted yet no punishment predator, Jesse Mack Butler. So we have some updates from over the weekend, and if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw at least one of them. And the other thing that I said when we did this was that I was going to talk about the victim impact statement, show you guys the text message where he's basically begging the girls to not say anything. And then I also want to address a couple rumors that are out there and then make a couple corrections on things on myself that are not really big. They're kind of minor, but just want to make sure that we got to keep it honest. On top of that, my good friend, Dan, aka Missing in USA, give him a follow on TikTok, and I think he's got an Instagram. Dan, do you have an Instagram? If he does, follow him there too. It's missing_in_USA. He does amazing work. He actually is looking into getting the entire body cam footage for Jesse Mack Butler, but it's about 2 hours long and it's about $150, and nobody wants to spend the money on that. So that's kind of where that's at, but I would love to get the whole thing. But I'm curious to know why it's 2 hours. Now, there are different police there, so maybe it's combined with all of their different cameras and angles, maybe about 2 hours. Dan is going to go look at some of that in the near future, and then we're going to determine if it's worth like pursuing, maybe crowdfunding it, something like that. We'll figure it out. Now, that being said, a couple things that we got to talk about today. So the first thing, this one I'm very excited to share with y'all. Get to it. Where is it? Gotta make sure. Hold on. There we go. This hit 100,000 signatures this morning, 15 minutes after lunch, 15 minutes afternoon, on the Stop Plea Deals for Child Predators. If you want to sign it, if you are watching this on Insta or TikTok, there is a link in my bio. You can sign it. It is free. It takes less than 2 seconds to do, to add your name to this. Now, with us hitting 6 digits on the signatures, that allows us to get it in front of more lawmakers, more at the local level. But obviously, the more that we grow this, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, the more that we can get this out to people and say, hey, everybody's tired of this, right? So if you have an opportunity and you haven't signed it yet, please do. If you have signed it, share it with one other person who might sign it, or 2 or 10, whatever you want to do. Let's get it out there. But thank you guys for helping us reach that 100,000 mark. That is a massive milestone. This petition was launched on October 7th. So we are 1 month and 10 days into it. And that's a pretty phenomenal feat. I'm going to give you a round of applause. Yeah, that was incredible. So I'm very happy about that. Now, after it finishes doing that, I want to talk about, before I talk about that, well, I'm going to talk about this one first. This is my correction. So the other day I did a video talking about Shelby right here. Shelby's the sister in the far right. Her biological dad actually reached out to me, and I do owe him a phone call. So I'm going to talk to him and see kind of, what's that about. He wants to correct some misinformation. But basically what I was told by one of the victims' families is that during the hearing, she's there standing beside her brother, right, and her mom at this hearing to support him for what he did. But when one of the girls was reading their victim impact statement, and I'm going to read that statement for you guys in a minute, so you can hear what she laughed at. She laughed and rolled her eyes at it. We're going to read that victim impact statement. It is powerful. It is long. Coming out of my voice, it's not as powerful as coming out of the survivor's voice, but we're going to do the best we can with what we got, right? So, but the things that I said was I believe that she was a teacher. We've done some research. It appears she is not a teacher. She's she is a volleyball coach with like OK Charge or something like that, which is like Oklahoma Charge, a volleyball organization. Sometimes she rents the gyms out at schools, and that's kind of where the confusion came from. But nevertheless, she still works for children. She's still a mandated reporter. She is still the sister. And I also accidentally called her Shelby Mack, now Shelby Taylor, but her last name was never Mack. She's Mack Butler's stepdaughter, so her maiden name was Childers, just like her mom's previous married name was Childers. So that's her dad. So just wanted to kind of make those quick corrections for you guys. The other thing that I want to address is this, and you guys are like, what the hell is he showing me? There's a rumor going around, and here's the thing. When you have cases that pop off, like this one has really popped off, all right? You have cases out there that people will do and say whatever they can to make sure that they get views because, you want likes, you want comments, whether your page is monetized or not, whatever the case is. That's not my prerogative. That's not my business. But somebody has said that Jesse has left the house in Stillwater and is now living with family in Guthrie, Oklahoma. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. This picture was taken last night. Both the dad and Jesse's trucks are in the driveway. They're now backing in to hide the license plates, which is fine. I don't want to show the license plates anyways. That's not what we're trying to do here. But He is still in Stillwater, so I wanted to make sure that we addressed that as well. So just saying. Now, the next thing, we're going to add this back to the stage. We talked about, I hate what this just makes it small. Guys, what I'm going to talk about with Jackie, this is gossip, okay? This is not professional journalism. It's not what I'm about to do here, what I'm about to say here. It's not professional journalism. But I'm going to tell you guys anyways, and you can judge me. That's okay. I don't care. So I had somebody I had a few somebodies reach out to me who grew up with Jackie Childers. Okay. I forget what she told me what her maiden name was, but I don't remember what it is. I have to look it up. One of the people did, but grew up with her. She was apparently, and this is going to come as no surprise to anybody, was apparently a massive bully. Got away with everything that she did. Treated people like absolute dirt. That is what multiple people have come forward and said that when she was in high school. And it sounds to me that not much has changed. That accountability doesn't really run in this family. So again, that's complete and straight gossip, but I wanted to share it anyways because I don't like her. And that's just kind of how it is. This. Now on TikTok, if you're like, what are we looking at here? You can't see any of it. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, they can all see it. You guys cannot. You can jump over to YouTube if you want to. This is something that is very likely going to happen, and I am not behind it. All right. I'm not behind it, but I'm going to tell you guys who is, if you want to follow them as well and tell you what they're doing. So there is a creator on Instagram. He goes by the handle Word Clown, just like it spells. Very easy to find him. His name is Toby. He is a satirist. He's a former writer for South Park. He voiced a character on South Park. But he's making, it's going to probably launch early this week, a website dedicated to Jesse Mack Butler. And he's also been raising funds to put these billboards up around Oklahoma and possibly other places. So I wanted to make sure that you guys were aware, because not all heroes wear capes, and make sure that you guys knew that this is what was going on. And if you want to follow Word Clown and support this and support him with other endeavors, because this is going to be apparently an ongoing thing, you can follow him on Instagram. Just kind of wanted to let you guys know that real quick as well. Now, those are my things. Those are the things I wanted to share with you. So let's get into what you really wanted to. Now, if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, not TikTok, because in TikTok, guys, I'm looking at you guys right now. I've been neglecting y'all because TikTok has made me very angry. They're not pushing my stuff out. And so why do I want to give them the time of day? But on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, we're doing quite a bit on Insta and Facebook. So make sure you're following there as well. But this is something that I posted the other day, but you guys haven't seen, but we're going to read it. If you want to jump over and see it, you can, but if not, I'm going to read it so y'all can see it. This was a text message. This was sent to me by one of the victims' families. And this was Jesse texting. All right. Texting one of the girls, begging them not to tell. And in my opinion, this is very much an acknowledgement, a confession of what he did. And let's read it. So there's two, because the girl didn't respond. At least not that I'm aware of. Not after this. It doesn't show. I know I ruined your life, and I'm sorry, but redacted. Please, I am begging you to convince her not to go to the principal. Please, if you did love me at all, please, I could lose everything. Please, redacted. I'm scared. I know what I did in the second part of it. I know what I did to you was awful. Everything about me is, and I'm so sorry for everything. Hopefully one day you can forgive me from the bottom of my heart. I am sorry. Please say something. Let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this message. This is what he sent them. All right. This isn't, and let's just call it what it is. This is not a kid. At the time he's a kid. Maybe he's an adult when this is going on. I don't know. This is not an individual. Let's just say individual, right? This is not an individual who is truly sorry about what he did. He's truly sorry about the repercussions of what's going to happen to him if these girls tell. That's what this is. He's not sorry for what he did. He doesn't care because he doesn't value girls. He doesn't value women. That actually can be seen from the body cam footage, which we're going to show again here in a minute. And I'll show you something that was pointed out to me. I don't remember if I pointed it out to you guys last time, but in case, whatever. Because we have a little bit smaller of a short front of the body cam, and I'm going to show you guys that. But he's sorry he got caught. He's sorry. He's worried that if they say something, that this is going to turn his whole thing upside down. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I hope you can forgive me. I didn't mean it. No, BS. BS. He meant every bit of what he did because he wanted to record it and he didn't care. And you know what he didn't care? When she said no, when these girls said no, and he continued to do it anyways. When they said no, and he said, "You're not going anywhere until I'm finished." When he threatened to end the lives of her and this girl's families, he wasn't sorry then. He wasn't sorry then, was he? So this right here, this is I want to cover my butt. I want to save my butt. That's what this is. All right. That is what this is. And anybody with half a brain can see right through exactly what this is. Right? We all know. It's not surprising. So real quick, I always like to say this halfway through the shows and stuff like that, because I see TikTok people, Instagram people kind of coming in halfway through. If you are missing this, you want to go back to the beginning, this is saved on YouTube. Same name, Just in the Nick of Crime. You can go over there. You can start this from the very beginning. And anything that you miss is definitely there, just so y'all know. Watch it later. I like Doffy. I like the name. I'm not going to say that because I want YouTube to like my video today, but because normally they put some kind of not a violation, but like a restriction on it. So I'm not going to say it, but I like the nickname you came up with over there on Instagram. So yeah, this is kind of what he said. This is what's going on. Now, I'm going to read you guys something long. Oh, real quick before I do, I forgot I have a note for me. I'm also going to be on Banfield tonight talking about that text message a little bit more in depth for anybody who wants to watch that. I will probably go live on TikTok. When I go live on Banfield, I usually do that. So anybody who wants to watch it there, just make sure that it's on. It'll be at usually around 9 Central. I think around 9 Central, 8:30 or 9 Central, something like that. I don't know. When I'm live, I'm live. So here's what I want to do. I'm gonna take this very seriously at this point. I mean, it's all very serious, but you know what I mean. And I'm gonna redact names here, okay? For victim impact statements. Was this one of the girls? I'm not sure. I believe this might be the mom's. This might be the mom's statement, not one of the victims themselves. But it's like not one of the survivors who actually had to deal with him on that. I believe this is one of the parents. But I'm still going to read it because I think it's very well written. And I think that it conveys what a lot of you guys feel, what we feel, etc. So without further ado, first and foremost, this statement isn't about revenge. It's about responsibility. It's about speaking truth in a room where it must be heard clearly, fully, and without apology. Jesse is responsible for what he did, and that responsibility doesn't disappear because of his age or because facing it is uncomfortable. The truth is still the truth, even when people would rather not acknowledge it. He may barely qualify as a youthful offender under the law, but my daughter, who is younger than him, has been more than old enough to live with the full weight of his choices. She did not have the privilege of youthful offender as a shield. What Jesse did was not a mistake. It was not immunity. It was not immaturity. It was deliberate, and it was manipulative. He violated her trust, her boundaries, and her safety. Redacted has had to fight for every step of her healing. She has had to walk through hallways in a school that never truly protected her, surrounded by people who chose silence or convenience over advocacy and support. She's had to deal with anxiety. She has experienced triggers in places that once felt safe. She has spent this year learning how to live with trauma caused by someone else's choices. It has changed the way she will view trust, relationships, and love for the rest of her life. And while she has done all of this with grace, strength, and determination, we will never mistake that for ease. Every normal moment has been something she's had to fight for. She's never asked for pity. She's never tried to play the victim. What she has survived is something no child should ever have to go through. And what she lost because of Jesse will never fully be restored. This summer, while other girls planned for their senior celebrations, she was preparing for surgery, a surgery directly caused by the injury Jesse inflicted. That is not symbolic pain. That is not emotional fallout. That is a medical fact of the physical harm that he caused. She is not broken. She is not fragile. She is strong. But the cost of that strength is something most won't see. The missed school days, the sleepless nights, the therapy appointments, the anxiety attacks, the physical pain, the battle to keep showing up while carrying something she never asked for. what she has fought to move forward, while she has fought to move forward, there's something we cannot ignore: the silence of Jesse's family. To Jesse's parents, your silence has been deafening. You had every opportunity to lead with truth, to teach your son what it means to take ownership of harm. You had the chance to model responsibility, to support the healing process, even the smallest of ways. But you didn't. You chose to protect your family image over integrity. Your silence sent a message to my daughter that the truth didn't matter as much as appearance. We're going to circle back to that. And that your son's reputation mattered more than her reality. Talk about that too. That is not parenting, that is enabling. This process has not brought our family peace, but it has brought us a new purpose. We will never let our daughter believe that her pain is something to be minimized for someone else's convenience. We will never let her think that silence is strength or that her voice doesn't matter. Our family does not agree with this plea. We want the record to clearly reflect that this plea deal was not made in the best interest of the victims, but in the best interest of Jesse. The convenience and leniency granted to him do not erase the harm that he caused. My daughter will continue to live with the weight of his choices every single day, and yet the system has offered him considerations she was never granted. What Jesse did matters. What his family failed to do matters. Now, it is in the hands of this court to make sure accountability is not avoided. We ask that you hold him fully responsible for his actions, not a slap on the wrist while allowing him to avoid facing true accountability, not just counseling, because my daughter, who is the victim, not the perpetrator, has been attending counseling for nearly a year. That is not punishment. That is only for the justice my daughter deserves, but to prevent another child from ever enduring what Redacted has had to survive. Redacted is a survivor of someone else's decisions, and we will never stop honoring the strength it's taken for her to rise above it. Guys, that is incredibly powerful. But like I said, we're going to talk about a couple things with this. What was said? I want to read this line. Where'd it go? Here it is. You had the chance to model responsibility, to support the healing process, even in the smallest of ways, but you didn't. You chose to protect your family image over integrity. How's that family image doing now, guys? How's that family image doing now? Your silence sent a message to my daughter that the truth didn't matter as much as appearances, that your son's reputation mattered more than her reality. How's that appearance looking for Jesse Mack Butler now? Huh? All they had to do was do the right thing, to stand up, to show accountability. And by the way, this was not the victim's impact statement that Shelby laughed through. That was from the survivor herself. So forgive me on that. But yeah, how's that image now? How's that image now? Right? They could have taken this as an opportunity, maybe not the 78 years, but something that showed accountability, 5 years, and Jesse could have learned from that. The police were like, this is not a place for kids. Like, prison's not going to help him. It's going to make things worse. Well, what about these girls? Why do they not matter? And you know what? I'm going to go off on a tangent real quick because I did a post. I haven't done a video on TikTok yet, but I did a post earlier today where a 13-year-old girl, a middle school girl, became the victim. I literally just did this story today of boys in her middle school who did AI deep fake, of her. You can guess what that is. And when they were taunting her, shoving the photo, like the image, the phone in her face to show it to her, she hit one of them. And she's the one who got punished. She's the one who got expelled. One of the boys is facing 10 counts. He got arrested, is facing 10 counts. There are more than one boy involved. But none of them got any punishment from the school. It's another example of let's protect the perpetrators of these crimes. Let's protect the predators of these crimes. And let's make the victim feel like they don't matter. That's what this is. And this is the same thing that happened in Jesse. This is the same thing with Camden Lee Dolly up in Idaho. This is the same thing that we see over and over again, right? And when we can lend a voice to these people, we're going to lend that voice to them. And Jesse is well known across the world now. People are going to remember him, just like you remember Brock Turner, who's now Alan Turner, by the way. He changed his name. Just like you remember him. Same thing. So this is a very powerful statement, and I appreciate the family sharing it to me and then saying that I could read it for you guys. You know, it's bad. It's bad. Now, I told you guys also, let's go ahead and show you all this. I'm going to pull it up here for a second, and then I'll shut up. Again, TikTok, this will give you guys a chance to move over. So this is going to be the body cam footage again. This has like a few seconds more than the other one, and I'll play the whole thing because I know there's a lot of people that are new to this case who might want to see this whole thing again. You know, the body cam footage isn't very long; it's a couple minutes, and so I'll play the whole thing for you guys who haven't seen it, and you can kind of see how the police handled this situation. But I feel like these few seconds, even though it's not everything, it adds a lot. So let me add this here. All right, let me move out of the way. I'm going to full screen this for you guys. I don't stop doing that. Full screen this for you guys. All right, and let's play it. Again, if you guys are on TikTok, you want to jump over.
We're ready to obviously tell our story too.
Yeah.
Jess, it's Mom. Open the door. It's me.
You know what? I know that we're already here, but let me pause real quick. That was just a few seconds. We've seen most of what comes after this. She's walking up the driveway with the police, right? She's saying, we're going to have our turn to tell our side of the story. That shows me that the police were there prior, that they talked to her first. They arranged this whole surrender, which, I mean, fine. You're a police officer. You want a peaceful surrender. I get that. And I'll back it up so you guys, in case you didn't hear it, I'll back it up so you can hear it. So we're going to get a chance to tell our side of the story too. And then I'll shut up and we'll play the whole thing, and then we'll talk about it.
We're ready to obviously tell our story too.
Yeah.
Jess, it's Mom. Open the door. It's me.
And if you'll just have him step out.
Okay. Give me your wallet and phone and stuff. So, okay. Your what?
They're in the car.
Well, okay, it's fine. It's not locked or anything, is it? Okay. So, can you tell him what you just told me, or?
Yeah. So we're here. We're obviously going to place you under arrest. There's a warrant for your arrest. We're going to take you to the jail. I told your mom that she can contact a bondsman, and you shouldn't be very long. But there just is a process for paperwork and stuff. But right now you do have to come with us, and I do have to put you in handcuffs. So turn around for me.
You have to put him in handcuffs?
Yeah, if I have to common transport somebody and give them custody.
You know we're doing this. It's okay.
Do you have one? Yeah.
I'll get you out. For me? All right. Stay silent. Rick knows about this. Candy's on this. Dad's on his way. We're coming to get you, okay? Stay strong, okay? Say your prayers.
Okay, so he's going to go right to the city of Stillwater jail, and if you'll just contact her, then she does this all the time. She knows what to do.
Yeah.
Make sure
Okay.
she knows Stillwater Police Department, not a county.
Stillwater Police Department.
Yeah, we're the ones
On
that-
Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them know that
perfect.
we're the ones that picked him up.
And
they
when
don't-
you say we are the ones.
Stillwater PD.
Stillwater PD.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way they don't think he went like straight over and over at the county.
Awful experience for a child.
Are you gonna pass it? Yeah. Make that chart. Gonna pass it down. Spread your feet for me. Nothing in their socks.
That's Jess. See you in a bit.
All right, guys. Let me get this off. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. And real quick, apparently I have to deal with somebody who is immature on Instagram, who is making fun of the situation, making light of the situation. So we're going to go ahead and remove them as a follower and block them so they can stop doing that, because we don't do that here. And it's rare for me to block people, but You wouldn't stop talking, and that's what the people want. And I'm not going to have you make fun of or minimize victims, survivors on my page. That's just not something that's going to happen. He's blocked Insta. He's gone. All right. So you guys saw how that went. Everything was arranged. They already had the bail person set up. They already knew to go in that house. They knew how to get him. He handed over the phone. But there was one thing, I don't know if you guys saw it, and I can maybe take it back and show you guys. Because I was trying to deal with this person. Let me go back a little bit, and I can put it back up. When mom's talking to him, she keeps trying to hug him, right? Give him like a little side hug. I know we've talked about this before. I know we've talked about this before, but he pulls away. And the reason that he pulls away is because even with his own mom, he has, and this was actually told to me by somebody who has a lot of knowledge with this, who works in this type of industry, that basically his pulling away is, in a way, it's basically his feeling towards women, even his own mom, right? I mean, we know, look, here's the thing. We know that he doesn't respect women and girls. Like, we know, but he doesn't even respect his own mom. That's the thing. They're less than to him. Their opinions don't matter. They're for his use only. And that's where and that is the environment that he was brought up in to foster. Now, I've learned some other things about Jesse as well. And I don't remember I've talked about this, but I will go ahead and do it now. So Jesse is by far the youngest. So I know that Mack Butler's next youngest child is in her mid 40s. I've learned that. Okay. Mack's youngest child, she's actually older than me, is in her mid 40s. So now he's got that, and he's got an 18-year-old. Shelby is in her mid 20s. That's the daughter of Jackie. But I feel like it doesn't give an excuse. It's not giving an excuse. But I feel like Mack's checked out. Like, Mack's in his 70s. He's checked out. He doesn't care. And so and it's not an excuse. You do that. It's like everybody wants to say, you have a kid. You chose to have this kid, right? You know how, at his age, when they got pregnant with Jesse, he would have been probably, if he's in his mid 70s now, probably mid 50s. You know how things work. You know how things work. You know what makes babies. And so you do this, and you're going to raise this kid, and you're going to put it all on mom, and you're not going to do anything, because that's the thing. Even when we let me get this other picture pulled up, because you guys might have seen this one already. We talked about this last one. I have actually not posted this one publicly, I don't think. Where is it? The full picture. To find it. I don't have it readily up here. There's another picture where you can see the full background. Here it is. Found it. I'll put this image up here. I'll show you guys. It's like, even this picture, we've all seen, we've all seen this picture. Where is it? All right. We've all seen this picture. But what I showed you guys the other day was this. That this was a part of a bigger picture. Where is it? I can find it. I got too much stuff on my desktop, guys. I gotta clean that up. Here we go. And there's Mack on his phone, 2 benches over. Like, I feel like this is a situation where it's just like, this is just quintessentially the relationship here. Again, I think that he's just not involved. And that's not an excuse. In fact, that makes it, in my opinion, even worse, because not only is he not involved, he's just showing up doing this, not holding accountability, not teaching his son how to be, and I say this, but maybe he's not a good man either. I feel like what I've learned about Mack Butler is he's a very weak individual. He might be good with football. That might be something he's great at. But what I've learned is that he was married before to somebody else, and he was warned that Jackie would try to steal him away, and he let that happen. Jackie and Mack both had divorces around the same time. He's just a very weak man. And because of that, this is the son that he raised. This garbage human. And somebody said mom's doing the worst job ever. I agree. Mom's doing a terrible job too, because, when you, like the parent said when we were reading that victim impact statement, this is not love. It's you teach your kids accountability. Other than that, it's enabling. If you're teaching this kid that, hey, we're going to still have your back and we're going to stand out here, and no matter what you did, like I get supporting your kid and standing by your kid because he's your kid, but you can stand by your kid and still teach them accountability, right? You can stand by your kid and still teach them what's right and wrong. And it's really easy to teach your son no is no. No is a complete sentence. No doesn't mean keep going. No doesn't mean keep trying to convince them till you wear them down to say yes. No is no. It's a complete sentence. It's a 2-letter complete sentence. Period. N-O, period. That's it. And when you say no, you don't keep going. You don't force, you don't strangle, you don't threaten them. You don't convince, you don't lie to make them feel bad. You just say, okay, cool. Because you want to know something? My years of experience on life is that if you just like listen and if that person has interest in you, then you'll eventually get what you're after anyways, just by being a decent human and a good boyfriend. Right? But instead, what he got was charges. Because he doesn't understand that. So Miranda just said, you can condemn what your child did, but still love them. Absolutely. Like, I think that, like, I normally don't say his name. I usually just call him inmate 163214. Sorry, I had a moment. I haven't said it in a while. 163214, which is Brian Koberger. His parents, I think, still love him, right? But they don't stand by him. They weren't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't like sitting here declaring his innocence like these people are. We're going to share his side of the story. Yeah. His side of the story is that he assaulted 2 girls. He almost ended the life of one of those. That's the story. But no, it's a complete sentence. It's a lot, guys, and there's a lot more to it. This is far from over. This is far from over. There's so much more coming out. There's another protest. I know there's a protest on December. Dan, can you pin when is the next protest in Stillwater, and when is the next one in Oklahoma City? For those of y'all who are there, I'll tell you all about that while I'm waiting for him to pin me that. The other thing that I'll share with you is this: there is a petition that is coming out to basically, it wouldn't be a petition for Jesse per se. December 8th is one of the things. December 8th is the next court date. That's what I'm hearing. When there's a protest too, right? December 8th at 12:30, there's going to be a protest during his court date. So if you are in Stillwater or want to travel to Stillwater, somebody posted here. I'm going to pin this. There you go. Thank you, Dondra, for putting that up there. Someone wants to share the billboard pic again. I can put that up there. The billboard doesn't exist yet. It is a to hopefully be. You got to follow Word Clown for that. So that's when the next one is. There is a petition that is coming. We're going to have more information on that soon. As soon as it comes out, I'll let you guys know about that as well. If you want to sign that, this is for my people who are physically in Payne County, specifically Oklahoma, who is watching this. If you have family in Payne County, this is important. I saw somebody said they already went and got registered to vote so they could do this. There is going to be a petition going around basically for a grand jury indictment into these judges, prosecutors, people involved in this case who tend to exhibit a pattern like what happened in the Jesse Mack Butler case. And for you to sign that, they've got like 200 something volunteers. And if you're not in Payne County and you want to do something, you want to go to Payne County and work, you can volunteer. You can volunteer to go around and get signatures on this protest, right? You can do that. So if you want to do that, you can reach out to, I'll give you the email address for that real quick. You can reach out if you want to be a volunteer for that to Representative Justin Humphrey, JJ Humphrey, justin.humphrey@okhouse.gov. He can help get you set up with a clipboard, the petitions, everything like that. But if you are in Payne County and you want to sign it, this petition that he's talking about for a grand jury indictment, That's going to be open to Payne County residents, only registered voters in Payne County. Now, for my petition that we've been running, the one to end plea deals for child predators, that is linked in my bio. That is linked in show notes, depending on where you're watching. That is free to sign, and you can be anywhere in the world and sign that. I just need signatures. We hit 100,000 today. The next milestone is going to be 250. The next milestone, 500, and then 1 million. And I think we can do it if we keep pushing it. All right. So, you know, let's just keep going with it. So Jamie asked a question. She goes, I'm in Payne County. How do I find someone to be able to sign it? You can reach out to this email address on the screen. There will be plenty of people out there that'll be able to do it, but you can reach out to this on the screen. Let him know that you're aware of the petition in Payne County regarding, you know, surrounding Jesse Mack Butler, and he can give you the information, make sure that you have. And you can possibly even be somebody, if you want to, Jamie, to go around and help get signatures. You could probably sign and get signatures as well. Somebody said you must be registered Payne County voter. We have 250 volunteers that will be getting signatures. Fantastic. I mean, that's a great turnout. Yeah, so for the pay, but here's the thing, for you guys in the rest of Oklahoma, I have a feeling that JJ Humphrey is going to have some more petitions. Apparently there's a lot of corruption in y'all's state. You know, so, and again, I'm going to talk about this real quick, this billboard that's up here. This billboard does not exist yet. It is being worked on to exist by another, like, like, if you want to donate toward this billboard project, you can. Do not donate the money to me. I am not running it. I'm not in charge of it. I am hands off on that. But that's done by WordClown. He's got the instructions on how to get there in his bio, as well as a website getting ready to do it. That's WordClown, WORDCLOWN on Insta. So that's what we can do. Anyways, guys, lot going on. We got a lot more going on, and this is going to be on Banfield tonight for anybody who wants to watch it again on TikTok. I'll be live for that. If you came in late and you want to see this whole thing, like, darn, I missed this whole thing, you can go to my YouTube. You can start this from the very beginning. I think you can do it on Facebook as well. Start it from the very beginning, and you can watch this whole thing and get caught up, so you know kind of what's going on. Share it, and of course, again, petition. We hit 100,000 signatures right after lunchtime today. We want to keep that going. If you, no matter where you're following, last thing, I would be remiss if I didn't do this before I let you guys go today. Hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, because subscribing is free. If you're new here, definitely want to have you. If this is this case and other cases like this are the kind that you want to follow, you want to advocate for, this is the platform to follow to make sure that you guys do that. So make sure you do that. Lastly, I'll say this too, because somebody said this. Again, this is at the beginning of the show. Somebody said that he relocated to Guthrie. Untrue. He is not. That is somebody who made that up for clicks and views. He is, as of last night, his truck, his dad's truck, they're all still at the house in Stillwater. All that said, guys, we're going to have more updates. I'm trying to do more on YouTube. So again, make sure to stick around. Make sure you have those notifications on. Hit that bell. And we will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.